Every passing second, there are 270,000 ships in all the oceans of the world. If seen on Life Maritime Tracker, so many foreign ships are traveling in the Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, and Atlantic Ocean at this time, that it is like flies sitting on honey. You will notice that these terrorizing foreign ships are roaming in any part of the ocean without any obstruction, be it Southern Australia, South India, South Africa, or the infamous Bermuda Triangle, about which many stories are famous, but the reality is completely opposite to this. Lakhs of cargo ships pass through here every year, and even now, no such spot is visible on the live tracker, which is empty of these colorful marks. But apart from all this, if seen in this part of South America, then these heavy ships do not dare to go here. There is a sea route where ships avoid going at any cost. It is called the Drake Passage, and today we will know why this sea takes on the most dangerous form. Once again, many flattering spectators are seen in the videos of Zim Voice. This Drake Passage, which has taken thousands of lives for centuries, made its presence felt once again on the 28th of November, 2022, when this cruise ship named Viking Polaris went to show the passengers the unbelievable sights of Antarctica. This 660-foot-long cruise ship had just landed in the peaceful waters of Drake Passage when suddenly it got caught in an extraordinary wave. Although these modern ships are built with a lot of comfort, keeping in mind the safety of the passengers, but this wave was even higher than Viking Polaris, and it shook the ship, weighing millions of tons like a paper boat. The windows of the ship broke, due to which 4 passengers were seriously injured, and one also lost his life. If we look at the data of the last 2 centuries only, then Drake Passage has taken the lives of 683 people, and there is no record of how many ships have sunk here before this. After all, what is such a powerful thing in Drake Passage that catches the ships coming here and makes it the most dangerous sea in the world? It forms a path, although it looks very narrow, but from Cape Horn in South America to Antarctica, it forms a distance of 900 kilometers, and this is called Drake Passage. The special thing about Passage, which has taken thousands of lives for centuries, made its presence felt once again on the 28th of November, 2022, when this cruise ship named Viking Polaris went to show the passengers the unbelievable sights of Antarctica. This 660-foot-long cruise ship had just landed in the peaceful waters of Drake Passage when suddenly it got caught in an extraordinary wave. Although these modern ships are built with a lot of comfort, keeping in mind the safety of the passengers, but this wave was even higher than Viking Polaris, and it shook the ship, weighing millions of tons like a paper boat. The windows of the ship broke, due to which 4 passengers were seriously injured, and one also lost his life. If we look at the data of the last 2 centuries only, then Drake Passage has taken the lives of 683 people, and there is no record of how many ships have sunk here before this. After all, what is such a powerful thing in Drake Passage that catches the ships coming here and makes it the most dangerous sea in the world? It forms a path, although it looks very narrow, but from Cape Horn in South America to Antarctica, it forms a distance of 900 kilometers, and this is called Drake Passage. The special thing about Drake Passage is that here 3 oceans of the world meet each other: Pacific Ocean, Atlantic, and South Sea. If we look at the depth of the ocean, Drake Passage is 11150 feet deep, while on its left and right, the sea becomes 15700 feet deep. It is named after Francis Drake, who used to be a famous pirate in the year 1577. But the surprising thing is that Francis himself never crossed the Drake Passage, he was such a pirate who had the support of the British Queen. He used to loot the ships of Spain in the sea, which was the enemy of Britain at that time. Francis Drake had the support of the British Queen. Only then he could loot any ship or city present on the coast in the North Atlantic Ocean. Ultimately, he made such a place in the heart of the Queen that he was selected for a special mission to Britain. He wanted to enter South America somehow, because gold and silver reserves were found in the mountains here. Queen Elizabeth planned a mission in which the British Army was sent to South America with Francis Drake in 5 ships. The convoy of 200 people had to cross the Strait of Mezquite in South America and reach Peru, where it was heard that there were huge reserves of gold, and the people there were very rich. Francis Drake was leading the British officers in this mission, and they could not digest this, and they started plotting against Drake during the journey itself. After reaching the coast of Argentina in South America, Francis Drake accused his fellow British officers of treason and hanged them. Leaving 2 ships there, he made the remaining 3 ships cross the Strait of Mezquite and reached the west of South America. It took them 16 days to reach the Pacific Ocean from Argentina through the narrow path of the Strait of Mezquite. But as soon as they went out in the open sea, they got stuck in the grip of a terrible storm. Due to this storm, these 3 ships got separated from each other and returned to Britain through the Strait of Mezquite. Thinking that Francis Drake was dead, the second ship mistook the Drake Passage for the Strait of Mezquite and headed towards it. But there was no news of it later. After the storm subsided, Francis Drake thought that he was probably a little below the Strait of Mezquite. He thought that he would go upwards along the shore and enter the Strait of Mezquite. But in reality, he was above the Strait of Mezquite at that time. So he kept moving towards the north, but he did not find any way. As he moved, he looted every small and big village and ship that came his way and kept collecting gold and silver. Finally, he ended his journey in San Francisco. After this incident, Francis Drake told that there is an open sea route beneath South America, which can be used to bypass the Strait of Mezquite. Of course, the Drake Passage is named after Francis Drake, but he himself did not cross it even once. 40 years after this expedition of Francis Drake, for the first time, a Dutch explorer named William Schout successfully crossed the Drake Passage, and a route was made to go to West America, which was used till the construction of Panama Canal in 1914. But the question arises here, that why is Drake Passage considered so dangerous? As you have known earlier, Drake Passage is a point where 3 oceans meet. The water of Pacific, Atlantic, and South Sea meet at this point. And because this route is not much wider than the ocean, when the water passes through here, its speed increases a lot. Due to the meeting of the 3 oceans, an astonishing 15 crore cubic meters of water passes through Drake Passage in just 1 second. That is 600 times more than the water that passes through the world's largest Amazon River in 1 second. So now, you must have got a good idea of how much water passes through Drake Passage. Apart from this, the world's most powerful ocean current revolves around Antarctica, which is also called Antarctic Circumpolar Current, or ACC. This strong current of cold water keeps revolving around Antarctica, and due to this, the warm water of Pacific and Atlantic Ocean, it cannot reach Antarctica. This natural system, in a way, protects Antarctica from melting. Otherwise, if there was no ACC, the warm water of the Pacific and Atlantic would have melted Antarctica long ago. The ACC keeps Antarctica safe by moving in a clockwise direction, but when it comes near the Drake Passage, some of its water goes into the South Atlantic Ocean. This is the reason why there is a possibility of high waves suddenly forming in this part of the ocean. And the biggest issue is that it is very difficult to predict these high waves in advance. Experts believe that while passing through the Drake Passage, there are only two forms of the ocean here, which have been named Drake Lake and Drake Shake. Drake Lake means that sometimes there are no waves of any kind here, and the ocean is silent like a lake. But when waves form, then there is no middle level. Rather, they are very intense, and this condition is called Drake Shake. This is also the reason for most of the accidents here, because it looks something else, but in reality, it is not like that. Till date, nobody knows the exact reason why it remains in different forms, but experts believe that perhaps this happens due to the change in weather. The moist and warm winds of the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean move towards Antarctica, due to which a pressure difference is created in the atmosphere. They think that perhaps this pressure difference suddenly creates deadly waves of 20 to 30 meters here, but no scientific evidence of this has been found so far. Another fact is also being expressed in the Drake Passage, that when the three oceans meet each other, the direction of all three is opposite to each other, due to which a Wilbur effect is created in the ocean, which makes it very challenging for the ships to pass through it. And if a dangerous wave is created during this time, then even if it does not damage the ship, it definitely gives it a fair swing. Often passengers fall sick due to this motion, while some also enjoy it by sliding on the ship deck.